Got another one. All right, this is 93 Yamaha Big Bear. 750 bucks. As near as I can tell, this is my take on it. Most of its life it has not been running. The reason why I say that is this is like 30-year-old quad. It's been sitting in the sun a lot. The UV's had its way with it. It's been dug at, troubleshooting quite a bit. So I had to go through all the electrical for sure. Wrung the wire harness out, ohmed out the stator, pickup coil, exciter coil. It's got neutral safety switches and relays. Everything was checking out. Get down to the last component, the mystery one. Rectifier was good, and the last component would be the CDI. And about the only way I've ever figured out how to test those, and it's on these older quads, is see if you have any resistance across terminals, and this one was erroneous, so it wasn't really doing the test I wanted. But lo and behold, luckily, on eBay you can get a China, I'm assuming reverse engineered them, so you can pick one up for 18 bucks and give her a whirl, and that was it. Oh yeah, coil was good. Resistor in the cap was good for the plug. Starter was missing on it, so I grabbed one of those, which you can get those for pretty cheap nowadays. Not saying any of that stuff lasts for 30 years like it should, but what else did it need? Oh, tune-up kit. The cage was there for the air filter, just no foam. Got the plug and oil filter for it. Needed the oil change, that's for sure. Not only black, it was a little gelatinous. Don't know why. I guess just time. Initial startup, smoked real good. Thought maybe, I imagine just from the troubleshooting, people have been wondering what she's after. Well, it's something, 'cause she never barks. It's usually deer. So I was a little worried about that at first, but you know what? It doesn't smoke now. I've had a couple pretty good rides on it. Everything works. Lights work. These are tanks. I would say just the quality is to stand the test of time. It's like this is sit out in the sun a lot. The plastics are still dang good. They're just faded. Got a seat cover coming. Because if you don't get that going, this will start digging into your foam. It's had a pretty decent life. You know, it's got some bangs, bruises, bumps and bruises here and there. We'll take it for a little spin. Of course, needed carb work. That one took a little bit. Sometimes in passages, I don't know. No matter how much you blow air at them and carb cleaner, just takes forever to clean them out. Pops right off. It's really fun to ride, especially out in the woods, because basically you're just putting around anyway, so the ride's decent. I got the tire pressure really low. That's how I like to ride my rigs. smooths out the ride, and then you're running over the little, you know, saplings that you cut off, stumps and whatnot. Doesn't poke a hole in the tire as easy. That's a great quad. To me, these things need to be resurrected and hung on to. We can get parts for them. It used to be, if you had a CDI issue, it was going to set you back to get another one. Because every model or manufacturer has something. Usually it's model specific, to where one thing will be the Achilles heel. Like the Big Bear, if I remember right, back in the day, you had to stay up on the axle bearings, rear axle bearings, because if you spun that spline, everyone else was doing the same thing due to poor preventative maintenance. And so therefore the axle would be a sought after item. And there's only so many part outs that you can do to get that one sought after item. Now I'm not sure if the CDI is a common failure on these or not, but it was in this case. But in my experience, if you had CDI issues on a model, everyone needed the same CDI. So therefore it'd be like $300 for a CDI, which maybe that's what they were brand new when Japan was producing them. I don't know. It's a long time ago. Yeah, I was just a pup when this thing was brand new. But back to my original, I still say we need to protect these things, not tear them up. Try to save them, because the simplicity's there. We can get parts for them. There's not a bunch of electrical know-how, no software, no, got to have special this and that adapters to figure out what's going on with some sort of sensor. Does that make sense? Because what's frustrating nowadays is, even if you're trying to troubleshoot something, and I know I've mentioned this before, you got to buy so many other things or have access to something just so you can figure out what it is you're up against. Whereas say like this, yeah, it's an electrical issue, not fun, but through slow troubleshooting, you can start checking off what it is or what it isn't. Seems to me like what you see nowadays is the view that these things are old and outdated, which they are, but all they're good for is just to tear up and destroy. Yeah, I disagree with that 100%. It's a utility, and therefore it has utility. This thing is not going to leave you stranded. You can pretty much figure out what it needs on the trail and get yourself back going. Same thing goes. It's like newer stuff nowadays, you notice it's going through, say, driveline. They have driveline issues. Yeah, you're pushing the envelope with horsepowers and whatnot. Something's got to give. So they put those, they're called fusible links. It's actually designed to give. So therefore it doesn't take out something that's deeper. It's going to require a lot more effort and work, or expense, or all the above. But it gets frustrating, because then you're constantly replacing, like, say, a CV which is the fusible wing. Makes sense. And again, when you're pushing the envelope, those things are, you know, you got a tire in the air looking for traction, and it's unloading. And then when it finds traction, that power's got to go somewhere. There's a lot of forces involved. Now this old girl, it's not going to have a wheel unloading like that. Like, you could get it there, but chances are it's going to put up with it. So the horsepower is not there. Oh well, that's my take on it. I've talked about it a little bit in the past, but what's fun for me is figuring out what they need. I would much rather sort out some engineering and how they used to do things, because then I put it in my arsenal. It's fun to understand it. Oh, those mushrooms are cool. These are huge. And it's super interesting. There's a fine line. This stuff right here, the 90s, okay, we'll say 80s and 90s, and I'm going to go as early 2000s. This is my opinion again. That's when stuff was built to last. When you bought something, it was going to not let you down. The quality was there. They had that in mind. Nowadays, it's a consumerist environment, and for one, things aren't lasting and we're throwing them away. And it doesn't make sense, because now there's the resources and it's a waste. And again, that's my opinion. We're seeking something that's not, we're doing it ourselves as consumers. We're expecting more from something when we don't even realize that it's not designed to last. Like this quad here, for example, this is a perfect example. It's 30 years old. Yeah, it's probably had a number of years where it sat idle or just sat there because it didn't have the right person put on it to figure out what it needed. Okay, even though it sat, see, that's hard on things. But as soon as I fired it up, that's what it did. It was just sitting there idle, ready. It was energy stored, ready to be activated again. And I'm telling you, on startup now, it does not smoke. It's not using oil. It's not leaking. I've got a few heat cycles through it. I'm monitoring it, but I'm seeing if the seals are going to come around, you know. I'm seeing some oil residue, but I think it's just because when I change the oil, you know, it gets on the skid plate when you pull the drain. Pretty sure it's just residual from that, but we'll keep an eye on it. See, the application though, this is perfect. I'm in second gear. I'm out in the woods. What else am I going to use out here? Yeah. What else do you need, I guess is what I'm saying. Gonna turn it around, Gene Bug? Let's go and look at the waterfall. These are full-time four-wheel drive, simple, no switchery. It's flowing just a little. What is it? The neutral safety switch is a little sticky yet, because I'll put it in neutral here. There it came on. So we'll see if that comes around. But these things, they'll still start. You just got to activate the handbrake. Oh wow, frosty. See what it does here. Right back to idle. It is amazing though. It's very mechanical. High and low range on the transfer case. So my advice is, if you're seeking anything in life to give you that dopamine release, find an old quad just sitting somewhere for a reasonable price, say $750. That is so non-brainer. And then you go use your mind, your hands, and you dive into it. And you get to figure out what that puzzle needs. Even if it needs rebuilt, that's still fun. They're not only user friendly, they're mechanical or maintenance friendly. They're mechanic friendly, especially if you look at the right brands. Mine would be Yamaha and Honda. They thought about that when it came to working on things. And the reward is there. You get a unit that is, for one, gonna hold up. Talked about that over and over. It's not going to break the bank, so you're not making payments on it. So there's utility in it. You can go use it. It's not stressing you out because it's just sitting there and you're making payments on it and waiting for it to break, like it seems today's things do. And even if it does break, then you can fix it. You're not relying on a dealership or a tech or someone with the right scanner to solve your problem. But we gotta quit destroying them. Hey, we clicked third. Is the ride super smooth? No. But honestly, I don't need to be doing 60, even 30 miles an hour through here. Speed kills. This isn't the dunes. The Baja 1000. So, again, feel like I did my part. Saved another one. And again, it's a win-win for me. The price is right. I get something to mess with, try to bring back to life. And then when you finally get it pulled off, there's the good feelings. And Junebug loves them. It's her pace. So that's what I recommend. And then it'll teach everyone how things work. You don't have to fear mechanicals. We live in a world where consumers expect everyone else to sort things out, and it's got to be 100% tip-top condition, or, you know, there's a lack of understanding. That's what I'm saying. People think you just go turn a key and that's it. Everything else should work. Well, it's biting us in the butt. So before these all get thrown in the scrapper, let's gather them up, get them back in operating condition, and at least preserve them. Because they aren't making things like this anymore. But anyhow, that's the latest rig. I got another one, package deal. Got a Honda Rancher. That'll be the next video. I'm knee deep into that one right now. And that was an interesting story. I've never seen an engine so destroyed in the manner that it is, but we'll make a video on that one. But back to the old Big Bear. She's a runner. And it feels good. All right, y'all have a good day.